ordnance soldier, technician, and first-class fighting man. To win battles, tanks must run, trucks must roll, and guns must fire. The supply and upkeep of fighting equipment must be uninterrupted. The modern ordnance soldier goes confidently about his task, ready at a moment's notice to drop his tools and fight if necessary. Time for basic training is short, the program intensive. During the first 4 weeks, the ordnance trainee is given training common to most soldiers, so that when he reaches the field of combat, he will be able to take care of himself and his equipment, able to endure the hardships of modern war, able to fight well when necessary. He must be trained in the fundamentals of field sanitation, map reading, individual security, rifle marksmanship, guard duty, military courtesy, and a host of other subjects. And at every step, he is taught by explanation, demonstration, and then by application of principles learned. After his 4 weeks basic is over, our ordnance soldier goes on bivouac to Camp Howell, where he has an opportunity to apply all that he has learned, and more too under field conditions. In his pack is all his equipment, aside from food. His shelter tent, blankets, raincoat, mess kit, clothing, toilet articles, canteen, gas mask, and rifle. His home for the next week. Well, here they are, about to embark. The campsite is 75 miles by land, but only 15 miles by water. So the water route is chosen to transport men and supplies from garrison to bivouac area. And now there's work to be done. Supplies must be loaded. Men must be issued life preservers and instructed in their use. Other instructions regarding conduct in the boats must be made clear, and a number of don'ts drilled into the men if a safe voyage is to result. Packs and rifles must be properly placed in the boats. Thus the hustle and bustle, but soon all will be ready and the launches will tow the fleet of boats across the blue Chesapeake Bay to the camp bivouac. The men are now comfortably seated. Space is ample, even though there's no opportunity to test one's sea legs. With all, the trip is interesting, and to many of the men from farm and plain, this is their initial trip on a large body of water. Then, with little notice, the campsite becomes plainly discernible. Soon the fleet swings up to the pier, and the boats are made fast. Men scramble out eagerly as a new phase of field training dawns before them. Now men march off the pier and up the steep bluff with all their equipment to the camp proper. They are now ready to begin a period of field training that should toughen and help them develop experience which will be invaluable when they encounter actual combat conditions. The bivouac area reached, the first step is to pitch tents, and men need no second invitation to unburden their packs. In a matter of minutes, a canvas community arises from the ground as men compete with each other to see who can erect his pup tent first. And it's a pretty close race, as most of these men have had previous training. Ah, for a cool drink of water. No sooner said than done, for the thirst of soldiers in training has already been anticipated, and a Lister bag meets the soldiers' demand for plenty of fresh water on tap at all times. Hard work and a hot sun make the Lister bag a popular point of assembly. Appointed details see that the bags are filled at all times and chlorinated properly. No one seems to mind the slight chlorine taste, as long, satisfying gulps prove that, after all, nothing takes the place of good old H2O, a little chlorine notwithstanding. For the 1,001 odd jobs that await eager hands in camp, there is a supply tent where tools and equipment are issued. There may be wood to chop or a dozen other chores to perform. At any rate, the necessary supplies are on hand, and if the task calls for the chopping down of small trees, axes are issued, and soon the chips begin to fly. The KPs will now have plenty of fuel for their fires, to say nothing of the fun and exercise experienced by the bull gang. After completing the pitching of camp, a full field inspection is made, which creates a stir of excitement as men spend anxious minutes in preparing their equipment for the critical approval of their officers. Inspections are taken seriously during bivouacs, for here the men see the purpose of such a procedure. Now to training, the bulletin board, schedules, and special notices. Fighting on strange terrain in jungle and desert, on hilly plateau or rocky wasteland, makes it imperative for the American soldier to know how to read a map or a compass. Field training at Camp Howell includes both. Avoiding enemy fire or advancing in enemy territory calls for an alert mind and a limber body. Hence this instruction on hitting the ground quickly and adroitly. There's no time to make mistakes when enemy machine guns are spitting out destruction all around. At the same time, it's just as important for men to learn how to rush across a field and gain a certain objective. Demonstrations by officers form an important phase of this training, after which men learn by actual practice. Training in the use of the gas mask is thorough. Field work that includes the wearing of the gas mask is stressed. What do we have here? A homesick soldier? No, peeling onions, and no wonder. Yes, there's more than meets the eye when soldiers line up for mess. Let's go behind the scenes and see what it is that makes soldiers in field training come back for seconds. Cooks do more than follow the book in making up the day's mess, for most of them have had years of civilian experience in hotels and restaurants. Satisfied with the mess, Cookie nods approval and is ready when the men are signaled to get it. Mess kits must be scrupulously clean, so men line up to give their equipment a preliminary rinse in scalding water. And now for chow. The mess line forms quickly and mess kits soon fill to overflowing. Meat, potatoes, vegetables, and bread and butter. Smiles break out as the first mouthful of food labels the meal a success and the day's work amply repaid. For not only are soldiers well fed during field training, but particular attention is paid to seeing that meals are varied, nutritional, and well balanced. After chow, mess kits are washed carefully and thoroughly. Plenty of hot water is on hand for this purpose, which, aided by scouring powder and a little elbow grease, turns the trick. Also, after mess, the KPs clean the pots and pans, and the men police the camp area. Here, for an hour each evening, candy, ice cream, or a cold drink are available at this handy extension of the PX service. And there's nothing like winding up a hard day's training with a call to Baltimore. Or if the waiting line happens to be too long, or Mother and Dad are too far away, Uncle Sam will take a letter free of charge, just as many of them as the soldier cares to write. And they're picked up every day, too. So ends the day. Up bright and early with the sun the next morning, and it's time for the regular invigorating daily wash-up and shave. Ample facilities are provided in nature's own vast wash basin, the Chesapeake Bay. There's no waiting line here, and there's always plenty of water. A little sand in the soap? Well, what of it? It's all part of the toughening up process. In the morning, the physical training program starts. Exercises are taken with the rifle. Precision, coordination, teamwork. His shoulders and arms may be very sore after a half an hour of this, but he'll soon be mighty handy with that all-important rifle. That's important, for the ordnance soldier must do double duty. Not only must he repair guns, he must be able to use them, and fast. And another day of training begins. First, there's instruction on that handy device, the foxhole. An important part of every ordnance soldier's field instruction is the construction and use of such hasty entrenchments, foxholes, slit trenches, and skirmish trenches. Quickly prepared by the individual soldier and easily hidden, they provide a fast means of defense. But they must be well hidden, with excel camouflaged with branches, twigs, and leaves. Look out! Here he comes. Oops, where'd he go? Oh, there he is. What a surprise a Jap would have if he stumbled into our friend's neighborhood. Here's an extra bit of training. Ordnance soldiers aren't expected to be experts at this, but a little introductory drill is good exercise, and it might prove most valuable in a tight spot later. A good soldier is prepared for any emergency. What a day for a march. The sun is shining, the clouds drift lazily by. But wait, there's something besides clouds in that sky today. Take cover, and the men rush for the side. Now we're back on the road marching again. Suddenly comes a shrill warning. Gas. Men work rapidly to get that mask in place within a small safety margin while the breath is held. Gas mask drills are repeated often until handling the mask becomes second nature. Now our outfit has just been shipped with the latest AEF to some important fighting front, and we must disembark quickly and quietly. The ship's deck is that high platform, and those ropes are a landing net. Up we go, and then down on our simulated debarkation. Oops, don't fall in. Always one hand to yourself, soldier. Tomorrow it'll be with full packs. Here's the daily quota of casualties lined up in front of the first aid tent. Ouch! Take it easy there, Doc. Immediate, expert treatment of blisters and other injuries prevent much trouble and possible disability later. Here's the notorious wood tick, and it may be carrying the deadly Rocky Mountain spotted fever. Here comes one of the best times of any day. Mail call. Epstein, Brunel, Armstrong, lucky guys. What, another for Brunel? And another? Still they come. Too bad, Tiller, but be patient. See? There's yours. I'm afraid you're out of luck today, Alexander. Common to all posts and camps is the daily retreat. Our colors, symbol of a fighting democracy, are lowered for the night. Never overlooked are the soldiers' spiritual needs. Services of all denominations are held each Sunday in natural surroundings. There's always a baseball game going on during the time provided each day for recreation and mass athletics. Or perhaps our soldier prefers a rough and tumble tug of war. These daily recreation periods provide a pleasant but important means of physical development, as well as teaching coordination and teamwork. And a daily dip in the bay is always possible if the water isn't too cold. And now, the period of intensive field training for our ordnance soldier is over. He leaves Camp Howell tougher, both mentally and physically. The next step is technical training, where you'll learn about small arms, about trucks or tanks, artillery or ammunition. Now learning to become a technician, then ready to work or drop his tools and fight. He'll be able to perform his double duty as an ordnance soldier, a technician, and a first-class fighting man.